as we continue to see lots of clouds, eventual peaks of sunshine coming. Yesterday, we tied a record high of 83. Now we're up to the upper 70s, not far off of 80 degrees. So another warm afternoon on its way, and we'll have those winds start kicking up as well, gusting into the teens and 20s. Tonight, more 60s back in the forecast. The last 2 mornings, we have been waking up in the 70s, but we do have a little bit less humidity on tap with the arrival of that initial front. Another one coming later on this week. That brings a real temperature difference, and humidity's dropping as well on the backside. This could also bring a line of severe storms with it, so we'll be watching that timing closely. Right now looks to be late Thursday and Friday. We'll of course break down all those details, and tomorrow you can expect more of the same out ahead of the front with 80s on tap as well. As WGNO News at 11 starts right now.
Coming up, the group behind efforts to recall Mayor LaToya Cantrell was back in court today. We have the latest on the case.
And an important deadline is looming for food stamp recipients, why many could be losing some of their benefits this week.
And student loan debt for millions of Americans hangs in the balance as the Supreme Court hears arguments over President Biden's forgiveness plan.
You're watching WGNO News at 11, New Orleans' very own.
Hello, and thanks for joining us. I'm Stephanie Chena.
I'm Tamika Lee.
Well, Southeastern University says work continues to restore the school's online network after a potential incident was found in the system. The school did not give any more details about the nature of that incident, but did say that state police are investigating. Faculty will work with students to minimize that impact of the outage. And students at Dillard University are attending class remotely today after a power outage forced many of their students to move to a hotel. Dillard University President Dr. Rochelle Ford says that over the weekend, 3 fuses blew in a high voltage area that powers the campus. Classes were canceled yesterday while students were relocated to the Hilton Riverside.
We are doing a full assessment to understand what caused those fuses to blow, and we are in the process of fixing it for long-term sustainability and to resume operations at the university.
Ford also says she hopes power will be restored by tomorrow so people can return to campus on Thursday. Well, today, President Biden's federal student loan forgiveness plan faces its biggest legal battle yet.
Yeah, the Supreme Court is now considering 2 challenges to the policy. ABC's Justin Finch has more from Washington.
Outside the Supreme Court, student debt activists and borrowers gathering in support of the president's plan to wipe away federal student loan debts for millions of Americans.
It wouldn't just affect just me. It would affect other people that look like me as well, and people that are disproportionately affected by not having their students' loans forgiven. Members
of Congress showing up to rally crowds.
The president has the authority to cancel student debt, period.
Dozens camped out overnight, eager for a seat inside the court to hear today's oral arguments in person.
Looking at this program and looking at this question, is this the sort of thing that Congress is likely to address expressly?
Attorneys representing 2 individual borrowers and 6 Republican-led states are expected to argue Biden's plan, which would cancel close to $500 billion in student debt for more than 40 million Americans, oversteps his executive authority.
We're going to fight to defend the rule of law and defend the Constitution.
I'm confident the legal authority to carry out that plan is there.
The latest Quinnipiac poll showing a majority of Americans back Biden's federal student loan forgiveness plan. It would cancel up to $10,000 in federal student loans for individuals earning less than $125,000 per year and cancel up to $20,000 for Pell Grant recipients. And though President Biden's federal student loan forgiveness program has long been a divisive issue, it is popular, with some 26 million Americans having already applied for relief. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
With many people relying on SNAP benefits to put food on the table, starting tomorrow, many recipients won't be receiving as much money.
Yeah, that's right. The extra benefits from the pandemic are set to expire. WGNO's Amy Russo has the latest.
I was going through the pandemic. I was really struggling. I was having a hard time.
When times got tough, Kerry Rodriguez says the state stepped in. He was receiving SNAP benefits just to survive.
Louisiana stepped up and they gave me food that I needed.
He's not the only one. The Department of Children and Family Services says in Louisiana they service 400,000 households, which is over 900,000 people.
If you need it, you need it. That's all there is to it.
Since the pandemic, SNAP recipients have been eligible to receive at least $95 extra every month. On March 1st, that comes to an end.
Everyone will go back to the original amount of benefits that they were receiving.
That's because the Consolidated Appropriations Act of 2023 ends the benefits. It's something Monica Brown says was always due to end.
There's no doubt that this is going to change how households provide for themselves, but SNAP in itself is a supplemental program.
Rodriguez believes the COVID emergency allotments should be extended.
Sometimes people aren't able to do that, and it's out of their control, not their circumstances.
Amy Russo, WGNO News.
And if you have any questions about SNAP benefits and extra food assistance, we do have a link for more info on our website, WGNO.com.
Well, we do have the possibility of severe weather eventually arriving later on this week. So the details on those timing and impacts are coming up.
Stefan Chainoff and meteorologist Brooke Laser.
Well, it may be the 70s here in New Orleans, but other parts of the country are dealing with major winter storms.
That's right, Steph. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest.
People in the Northeast braving the first significant snow of the season, some facing a dangerous morning commute.
Clean that ice off your car. It's just, I'm lucky to be alive.
This woman warning other drivers near Boston after a sheet of ice flew off a nearby car, slamming through her windshield. Some places like New York City facing just a couple of inches.
Being from upstate New York, this is nothing.
But some areas saw more than half a foot of snow. Snow totals across the region ranging from 1 to 10 inches. In Pennsylvania and Hartford, Connecticut, snowplows out in force. The governor of Connecticut warning people to stay off the roads.
Stay safe, stay home. We'll get through this together.
The same system hammering the Northeast created a tornado outbreak across the plains. A tornado packing 110-mile-per-hour winds slamming Norman, Oklahoma.
The Larson family, they actually rode out the storm inside their home. Look at it. It has completely shifted off the foundation, the roof, the fence, trash is everywhere. If you can believe it, they survived. They are now living in a hotel.
The storm's destructive path began in California with record rainfall triggering several mudslides.
And authorities have declared an emergency in San Bernardino County, where more than 6 feet of snow fell in the higher elevations, trapping people in their homes and vacation rentals. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Good morning and a happy Tuesday. Still quiet on the satellite and radar picture. We don't have a whole lot to discuss in terms of rainfall until later on this week. Right now, temperatures have risen out of the low 70s into the upper 70s. So we're not too far off of the 80-degree mark. Yesterday, we tied our record high set back in the 1960s of 83. So the clouds has kept our temperature down a little bit more today. Winds still light out of the southwest in the single digits, but we are going to watch them climb a bit. Our beach camera at Beau Rivage showcasing that cloud cover, but it is a little more improved than the last couple of mornings in terms of the low-lying clouds leading to some, I'd say, gloomy conditions out there. So 24-hour temperature changes anywhere from 0 to 3 degrees at the moment. We all woke up about the same as yesterday morning, and our temperatures will continue to remain in the upper 70s. But look at the rest of the state. Now, very similar. This morning, Shreveport and Monroe were in the 40s, with Alexandria in the 50s and Lake Charles in the 60s. Now everybody is just about to 80 degrees. So we'll continue to watch these numbers climb a bit over the next couple hours, anywhere from 80 to 85, maybe even 86 in a couple of our northern locations. The wind speeds are out of the south primarily. We're watching a little bit of a transition on the direction, and they are on their way up as well. So you see a couple teens on the board here, but mostly double digits to single digits. Here is your futurecast. Shows this afternoon with a couple spots in the teens and 20s. Those will be for gusts, not necessarily sustained winds. We'll likely see the same thing looking to tomorrow afternoon. And then on Thursday, we'll have more of these returning before the big system arrives overnight into Friday. So your futurecast shows you tonight, if you're headed out, will be mostly dry. Just a couple coastal showers at best, and then another round of clouds with clearing for tomorrow. Copying, pasting the forecast for both your Wednesday and Thursday. As we get into the overnight period again, we'll have that potential severe weather threat unfolding. So 80s primarily today. We'll continue with the southwest winds picking up. Overall, just a quiet pattern for the last week. Afternoon highs ranging from about 83 to 85. Not a huge dynamic temperature change on the North Shore. South Shore looks pretty similar as well. All the way into tomorrow morning, we'll be a little bit cooler in the 60s. So this is going to be a change in comparison on the last couple days. We'll see anywhere from 67 to 68. And then you head a little bit further south and we'll see the same, upper 60s to about 70. So humidity values are going to come down after the arrival of that front, which brings drier air and, of course, less humidity into the weekend. Saturday and Sunday looking nice as we'll top out in the upper 60s to about 70 and keep our overnight temperatures much lower as well in the 50s. Here is your severe weather outlook for Thursday into Friday. Right now, we're seeing the possibility of a slight risk across southeast Louisiana. That's that yellow shading, the level 2 out of 5 from the Storm Prediction Center. Note, this is a pretty large area spanning into multiple states, Texas, Louisiana, into even Mississippi and Alabama. So to the north, I think you'll have a greater concern. That's where the enhanced outline is going to be. You can see this orange throughout the central part of Louisiana and beyond. Again, the primary concern with this is going to be for winds along the line. We'll also be watching for the possibility of a tornado risk out ahead of the main line. So usually with the line coming through, you've got the wind threat, and then if any cells are able to jump out ahead by a good distance, you could have that spin up tornado. So something we'll be watching for as we head into late week. Nonetheless, a lot of people are going to be asleep for this event and probably miss it completely. So that's another reason to have the warning information on your phone so you can wake up. Temperatures will be in the 80s and then fall into the 40s, and we'll have much nicer and more seasonal weather in your forecast for the rest of the weekend. Of course, it's the final day of the month and you wouldn't know it's February, but we'll be starting out March on a very similar high note. Back to y'all.
Thanks, Brooke. And to stay up to date with the latest weather and headlines in your area, be sure to download the WGNO News app. It's available for free in the App Store or Google Play.
Well, a boil water advisory has been issued for parts of Jefferson Parish. Residents in Crown Point, town of Jean Lafitte, Lower Lafitte, and Barataria are urged to boil water for 1 minute before using it. The advisory was issued after the pressure dropped while crews were repairing a water main. Also, New Orleans Fire Department says no one was injured in a 2-alarm fire overnight in Algiers. Firefighters were called to the Whispering Oaks apartments around 11 o'clock last night. Officials say the fire was mostly contained to a 1-bedroom apartment on the first floor. Residents were evacuated from neighboring apartments after smoke spread into their units. The cause of the fire is currently under investigation.
Well, New Orleans police have arrested 51-year-old Sean Cobbs after an early morning shooting of another 51-year-old man near the corner of North Miro and Franklin Avenue. While investigating the shooting, police came across the suspect.
A short time later, officers spotted Cobbs in that same area where Cobbs retreated into a home within that block. A short time later, the Special Operations Division was notified and Cobbs surrendered to the officers. He will be charged with illegal possession of a firearm, a convicted felon for a firearm, as well as the aggravated battery by shooting.
And the victim of that shooting is at a local hospital listed in stable condition. Meanwhile, the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation says a burglary suspect is in the hospital after a deputy-involved shooting. Investigators say around 10:15 last night, deputies responded to reports of a burglary on Merlin Lane in Gulfport. Officers arrested 2 suspects at the scene. A 3rd suspect was taken to the hospital. No other details are available.
And agencies across the state capital area are responding to governor's proposed budget. While some agree with his spending plan, others are worried it will create issues down the road. With a $45 billion operating budget and over $1 billion in extra revenue, the governor wants to end his term with historic investments. But with the economists projecting an economic slowdown and some tax revenue ending, the Public Affairs Research Council says the legislature needs to be careful.
If you have time, if you start solving it now, and you still have next year, to have 2 budgets before you really have to eat this cliff, start working on it now. Start trying to find ways you can put some recurring dollars to temporary or short-term expenses, and we have a lot of that.
Groups like the Louisiana Association of Business and Industry are stressing the use of one-time funds so the budget doesn't grow too much this year. The Louisiana Budget Project said the state can only invest the revenue it's willing to raise through taxes and fees.
The group behind the efforts to recall Mayor LaToya Cantrell were back in court this morning.
WGNO's Zach Labe's latest from the courthouse.
Hey, Tamika and Seth, yeah, that's right. The organizers were in court today meeting with the representatives for the Secretary of State as well as the Registrar of Voters. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, it was a little bit confusing in court this morning because during the right before that court hearing started, they met in the chambers with the judge, and within less than 10 minutes came out and everyone packed up their stuff and left the room. So we're not going to find out until tomorrow what that was about. Everyone, whenever they came out, they said that they were not able to answer any sort of questions. So, well, again, we'll have to find out tomorrow what's going on. But as far as this hearing goes, they are still working out the number of inactive voters versus active voters so that way they can get what they're saying an accurate number to use for that petition minimum that they need. Now, the defense attorneys say that the Secretary of State and Registrar of Voters needed to gave them an active voter count at the time. The voter registry is reevaluated every May, so they're saying that if the recall organizers wanted an updated number, then they should have made a request when they filed their petition back in August. Updating the numbers now would take 6 to 8 weeks, requiring voter cards to be sent out and then allowing up to 21 days for the voters to respond. So like I said, we're going to be finding out tomorrow in that hearing once that continues, and really no one was able to speak, so we won't really be able to have any updates until then, but we'll definitely bring you updates on our website, WGNO.com, as well as on our evening newscast and our morning newscast tomorrow as well. But for now, reporting from the courthouse, Zach Labe, WGNO News.
Maybe you've heard of race applying, which is when you channel your anger at work into searching for other jobs.
Right. Well, the latest edition is Bare Minimum Monday. ABC's Will Gantz has a story.
On Wednesdays, we wear pink.
And you can only wear your hair in a ponytail once a week.
so I guess you pick today.
And on Mondays, we do the bare minimum.
Bare Minimum Monday is where I only hold myself accountable to doing the bare minimum for work, and then the rest of the day is for me.
Bare Minimum Monday is the brainchild of Phoenix-based digital creator Marissa Jo Mays.
It's a burnout prevention strategy. Like, there's a reason the tortoise and the hare story has stuck around for so long.
Bare Minimum Monday, MJ says, isn't about phoning it in or slacking off, but about examining your relationship with hustle culture.
I could go fix my hair, I could do the whole thing. And then I was like, well, we're discussing Bare Minimum Mondays, so
Yeah, you're the full embodiment.
I did get out of my PJs, you know.
Partial embodiment, yes.
Okay,
Killing
good.
it.
But why does Bare Minimum Monday have legs now? Last month's unemployment rate fell to 3.4%, the lowest figure since 1969. And according to federal data, the economy had 11 million job openings as of December. Experts telling us in a tight labor market like this one, workers typically wield greater leverage over an employer, since workers have more latitude to seek a job elsewhere.
I was in corporate America for 3 years, spiraled into burnout so fast. It only took me to age 25 to wind up with several health issues. Like, I was in a bad place.
MJ quitting her job to check out self-employment, but that didn't fix her burnout.
I didn't necessarily have a boss problem. I had a hustle culture problem. One morning I woke up and audibly gave myself permission. You have permission to do the absolute bare minimum today. Insane what happened the moment I let myself off the hook a little bit.
Now, 3 million TikTok likes later, Bare Minimum Monday has taken off, with burnt-out employees giving MJ's concept a go.
Sometimes doing the bare minimum is okay, and it's enough. It's what the word literally means. The minimum of what's acceptable, people will reject it because they have yet to investigate their relationship to productivity.
Some tips for your own Bare Minimum Monday: make a to-do list. And if an item doesn't have immediate consequences today, then that's tomorrow's problem. The day is all about focusing on you as the person as opposed to you, the employee. Will Gans, ABC News, New York.
All right, and before leaving, we want to have a good, big, bright shout out to our kids in studio today, McDonough 26 students. It was a pleasure having them.
Oh, say hi to Mom. Say hi to Mom. They've been sweet.
Thanks for joining us for WGNO News at 11.